is Brian Choi. I'm the art director for the Maestro's team at USC Games. I like to play bagpipes, and I like dogs. They're really cute and delicious. So, to explain what the Maestros is a online multiplayer RTS built in the UK engine set in a humorous fantasy world where you control an army of creatures and that can transform to different types of units that you need on the fly. This is where Royal Prussian diesel steel meets gaudy scientism in epic combat. For the factions, we have the Kingdom of Teutonia, who's our Royal Prussian diesel steel. They have commanders called Tinkermeisters, who lead small armies of robots called Doughboys. And then the Alchemists from Genome City, who control hybrid chimeras of twisted beauty, such as this mouse creature that's infused with an armadillo/goat. So, for the environment of and the world of the Maestros, we're looking at a fantasy world, a fairy book world, but it's still under conflict. So we're looking at high colored saturations. Nothing is subtle. There's always loud and clear, distinctive themes to it. For example, right now, the current map that we're working on is the Sky Islands. These are literally very verdant tropical islands that have been lifted up into the sky because of arcanium crystals that are keeping them afloat. Occupying these islands are the Tenshi tribes, kind of a loose league of Native American or Native tribal people on the islands who use and summon spirit elementals to guard their islands. What used to be from dangerous predators, but now with the onset of the Teutonians and the Alchemists looking for this precious resource, purple neon liquid called arcanium, on their islands, they now meet a new threat, which is the foreign invaders coming to their islands to take their arcanium. So to quickly describe the main mechanic of our RTS gameplay, think of the game as a smaller scale Warcraft 3 game, but we don't have any resource macros. So what you would consider resource manning is non-existent. We want you to get to combat clear and fast. And with your army, you start out with simple units, in this case the Doughboys, kind of your basic bread and butter unit that you can transform into different units based on how many Doughboys you use to transform into units like Splitter here, which is a 4-armed super tank that doesn't really die. It dies, but then like 4 tiny little more creatures come out of it when it explodes and starts continuing the attack. Or the Conductor, which can, with a group of other conductors, create electric fences and create a lot of area of control and CC for your enemy opponent. So the design pillars that we want for our game specifically cover 4 specific ones. The first one's mobility. We want you to be always moving around the map. No kind of turtling up and waiting to move out as a huge ball. We want you to always constantly go for these arcanium resources that keep popping up on the map, meaning that you'll be engaging your enemy faster, way earlier than expected. Accessibility. Understandably, the RTS genre is not exactly the most accessible game. We want to make sure that we break down those barriers and make this game feel easy to pick up, easy to play, and not too difficult to understand. Punchy combat. We want to make sure that each encounter that you have from small skirmishes to bigger battles are always very, very, very visceral. You want to see big explosions, things flying across the screen, robots running in terror because they don't want to have to fight this big, nasty snake monster that's about to eat them. And an instant engagement. We don't want 10 minutes of build-up time. We want you to get fighting in the first minute or so of the game. So once again, no resource macro, no pre-build-up time to have to build buildings. It's just you and your army skirmishing across the map in total domination. We're developing the game in the Unreal Development Kit, also using the RTS Starter Kit specifically to help us get a jump start on building the architecture for our game. Here's a couple examples of the current art assets we have right now. So this is an example of our first Tinkermeister commander, the Artificer Gregory. It's a big fat guy with a huge wrench. He literally carries like this factory on his backpack that he throws like units out from. Example of one of the Tenshi minor creeps that you'll be fighting across the islands to gain arcanium since they're protected resources. This one's from LCAD student Andrew Ramirez. He's done a really beautiful job here translating concept art to this. Once again, Andrew Ramirez, another one of our Teutonian units, the Oiler. Think of him as a bruisey but heavy CC unit that throws out oil to slow units down and damage them over time. Specific openings we have are across the board. As you can see, we are working at a current generation art pipeline. So normal maps, specular maps, concept art, 2 3D models. So we're looking for 2D concept artists specifically for environments. We'll also take character art if you have an exceptional portfolio for us to look at. 3D character artists, 3D environment artists, riggers, animators, UI artists, and unstated here are VFX artists. Specifically, if you're either willing to or know the UDK Cascade system, we'll definitely take you on and consider you for application. Our formal application process is going to be send me an email at view.choi117@gmail.com. with your portfolio, your resume, and state a position that you want to apply for. We're really excited to work with LCAT once again. I know David and Lisa here, I've had the pleasure of working with them last year, and they've done some beautiful work, and it's really an honor to work with really talented guys such as you. And I hope that, maybe we're not in the same geographical location, but we are as a team no matter where we are. So we want to make sure everyone, gets as much as they can from this, and especially with the aggressive production schedule we're looking at, you're going to have, awesome portfolio stuff come March, say by GDC, or by at least May, for sure, when we ship the game. And that is the Maestros. If you are interested in joining the team, I will be here. Min, our producer over there at the computer, it will also be here as well. We'll talk to you about any positions you're interested in at the pizza party, I'm assuming, afterwards. So, thank you.